Hello, and I hope you're having a great week so far. Today we're playing a little game called May I Take Your Order? So in this game we're going to be serving as a waiter, looking after a couple with peculiar tastes. If you'd like to try this for yourselves, link as always is in the description down below. Shall we go ahead and get started? Alright, I've been filling out a few applications today and this is the last one. I've been applying to work at restaurants all over. It might not seem glamorous, but I want to see how different places are run. If I want to open my own restaurant someday, it's crucial to see what does and doesn't work. A friend told me I should save my top pick for last, and I should really kick him for that. My hand's about to fall off. It's a pretty ritzy establishment, but comfortable. Fancy but not overpriced. Important clientele, but still kind and inclusive. If you can't make connections here, you're dead. Financially speaking. And the food, remarkable. I've never heard of anyone having a bad meal there. I gotta know how they accomplish so much. I also want to eat at this restaurant, it sounds good. So I try not to be too nervous and fill this out like it's any other application. My first name is Socks. There we go, Socks. I fill in my address and try not to despair over my handwriting before getting to the personal section. Gender is I, and then there's that. And I finished filling out the form. I capped the pen and leaned back in my chair. Man, it's nice to be done. Well, except for heading outside and turning them all in, one at a time. Better get to it. 2 weeks later, and I'm waist deep in my first Saturday shift at the restaurant. See, you applied for those jobs, but then, this is the one that you're supposed to get, obviously. Let's do a quick save, actually, just in case. Busy doesn't even begin to describe it. After 7 hours of the weekend rush, I'm ready to go home. I stop off at table 6 and go through the motions. Thank you for dining with us, sir. My name is Socks, and I'll be your server this evening. He smiles at me. Pleasure to meet you, Miss Socks. Have you dined with us before, sir? Yes, indeed. I'm quite happy to be back. Just you this evening, sir? No, my girlfriend will be here shortly. I'll just have a cup of coffee while I wait for her. I'll go get that for you right away then. No rush. Countless families and couples have come and gone today, but for the past hour, that one guy has been clogging up table 6. Are you doing alright, sir? He checks his watch again. Oh, it looks really sad. I hope he's not been stood up. Oh, stood up guy. Yes, I mistook the time. She'll be here any second. He's been saying that for the past 45 minutes. But he's still got hope. I tell him to pack it up and leave, but he doesn't have the look I'd expect of someone in his position. There's anxiety, but only a little bit, and there's no disappointment. Not a shred of doubt in his eyes. He really thinks... Excuse me. He looks up at me. It looks like he's come to some sort of decision. Thank goodness. But this is a restaurant with crayons, correct? Are you going to draw for a bit? Can you draw on the napkins? Because I've seen some restaurants do that. Well, not napkins, but the tablecloths. A big, drawing sheets. Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. We have those for kids. Adults can colour in and draw too. Excellent! A string of frosty enters his eyes. One that doesn't quite pair naturally with crayons. That's debatable. Maybe he's just really passionate about crayons and art. One please, and red if you've got it. Yeah, sure. I'm not about to argue with a customer, especially when I've been here for only 2 weeks. So I head to the front. It's not exactly usual, but the guy's been sitting here for half an hour without a phone. That's impressive. I'm caught between pity and irritation and hope for the umpteenth time. That he has enough empathy to tip well on the single cup of coffee he has been nursing. There's a small tin with several crayons. We try to keep the fresh ones ready. I grab. He did ask for a red crayon, so let's give him the red. I snatch up a red crayon. No sense being mean to him. He may be weird, but he's probably having a bad night too. I bring the crayon back over to him and hand it over. Thank you, Miss Socks. You are welcome. It's no big deal. Hey, are you okay? I saw you don't have a cell phone, but we could call your girlfriend and... No warning, no nothing. He knocks everything off the table and climbs right on. Is he gonna summon her? Sir! Please get down. His deft hand scrawls a wide circle, then another, then sections off areas, slicing as though the crayon were a knife. He fills it with symbols. They almost look like zodiac signs. He's summoning his girlfriend. That's why she's late. You didn't provide the proper summoning circle. Take notes. Homo sum humani a me nihil alenum puto. It's like I stood up too fast. There's a rushing to my head. There's a pressure like my ears are going to pop. Wait, what? A screen cracked. Oh! The tablecloth rips and there's a spray of sweet-smelling fluid. I leap away from the table as something bursts out. Oh, hello? Do you have a reservation? Wet spiked appendages are flailing all over, slapping and snaking their way over the windows and doors. They're fleshy, but soft, too soft, and they mush and disfigure as they slam against everything in sight. One smacks the hat off another diner, who continues to eat her meal. Wait, can I not see them? Unfazed. Nobody's screaming. And nobody notices me on the ground, arms raised to protect my face and throat, too tight to scream again. But that's okay. The thing is screaming enough for the entire restaurant, so I wonder why we're the only ones that can see them. Is it because we handed them the crayon? That we're like part of the ritual? It's letting out a dual-toned screech, high and low, but I can't discern one throat, let alone two. Crayon thrown to the floor, the stood-up guy in the worst diner ever starts to call out at it. Sweetie, for goodness sake, put your body on, we're in a nice restaurant. It screeches and roars back at him. I know, but... He waves a bunch of cloth at it. I brought you some clothing. And it's super comfy. It slopes at the bundle of fabric and the creature bubbles and draws back in it on itself, twisting until... Is she here? She's here! I emerge. You're here. You'd be worried, so I figured I'd help break down a barrier a bit. Teleoporia, you have no idea how good it is to see you. When he says that word, my ears finally pop, and my teeth grit. It's a bad word. It's not a curse word per se, not so much a word you wouldn't say in front of your boss. It feels like the wrong answer in a classroom or meeting. That moment when everyone turns and looks at you, and you just want to sink through the floor. I just want to sink through the floor. But at least he's not technically stood up. Might give a very good tip if we're good to them. I want to very quietly go and get my coat and change my name and move to whatever town is on the exact opposite point of the globe from where I'm currently standing. You informed me that the barrier was to be frail in this portion of your world. I will hold you responsible for the trouble. He's beaming at the thing that came out of the hole, but I can't look at it. It hurts to roll my eyeballs towards it like I'm dehydrated. When I close my eyes, the dark behind my eyelids is so cool and soft. Huh? There are tears running down my cheeks. I hadn't noticed. The guy? Hendrik? Did we ask him their name? Why do we know that? beams, and gestures towards the gaggle of eyes and puffy wool. This is my girlfriend, Teleoporia. Impudent microbe. I may choose to craft for myself the form of a creator, a birthing one, but I am capable of far greater creations than your prepubescent females. And far more erroneously, your inflated ego thinks I would deign to refer to you as any form of companion. Her words wash over him like a gentle breeze. It looks like she could rip his face off, but her roars just make his eyes brim with joy. It's that kind of relationship, okay? We've been dating for about 400 years now, and no, the long distance thing is an eensy bit of annoyance. We make it work. I mean, man's looking good for 400 years old, and so she. Like, you know, I mean, she might be older in time. We don't know. Don't want to judge anyone's age. The moment I finally devise an effective method of accomplishing your demise, I will rip your soul from your ever-regenerating body and chew it to a gruel. He sits down at the all but destroyed table and picks up his menu. I can't tell if she's flirting or if she genuinely wants to kill him. But until that beautiful day when I could be with you forever, you're going to need something to eat else. You're going to need to eat something else. Teleoporia stops. She looks at me, and I bounce between my eyes, trying to make contact with one that doesn't stare down into my deepest inadequacies. There is human fuel here. I nod. Her mouth breaks open into a smile. Oh, does she like? Okay, we're gonna serve you a good meal. You're gonna be fully taken care of. I did worry when you said human food that you meant me, but like, I can serve you some dishes. It's all good. Excellent. You are spared from punishment, Hendrik, if only for a moment. She sits down, but not on a chair. Dozens of her tentacles are still present throughout the entire room, spikes driven deep into the surfaces, blocking all exits. She settles into one of the squishy appendages, looking pleased. So then, maybe we should order an appetizer? It's not that I can't believe that this is happening. I have an open mind. Same. But as far as sudden supernatural shifts to my life, I was really hoping for wizard school. Or just a plain old haunting. I mean, this is a haunting of your workplace in a way, right? Some ghosts are pretty cool, right? At least with a zombie or something, I'd know the rules here, but what are the rules with this thing? This creature? Do I throw rice on the ground to stall her? Will she attack me if I touch her with iron? I'd listen to my gut, but I can't make out anything but general foreboding. Demon. You summon demons, so that fits. But I don't know, something doesn't seem quite right about that. Maybe she's excuse me? Oh, I can barely think, but I can at least fall back on one set of rules. I struggle to stutter out the rote reply. Would you like to start with a soup or a salad tonight? The man grins and gives an eager nod. Could I please get the blue cheese salad? And for my sweetie, ooh, we serve a blue cheese salad. Okay. The Teleoporia rolls her eyes, and her teeth flash as she cuts in. Hendrik, I've been on enough of these sham dates to know that ordering from your companion is rude. His face falls. I mean, it depends on the type of relationship you have, I think. Sometimes, you know, the person just wants to show that they know you well, or you let them. It depends on if you want them to do that. But I'm guessing she doesn't want that. Maybe she just actually wants to order her a meal. And maybe she doesn't fancy the blue cheese salad, Hendrik. We don't know. It's been ages since you've eaten any food. You're chewing on a fork right now. She gives him a glare and slowly places the slightly bent cutlery back down on the table. Fine. But before he can say another word, she makes her move. I don't want your advice, though. I want the young human to choose for me. Saving. Yeah. Oh, no. Oh, he actually does look a bit annoyed. She's giving me sort of Call the Night vibes. I think I don't know what it is about the expression. He sighs, annoyed. But he checks himself before looking at me. I think he knows that she's putting me on the spot. I could appreciate that he's trying to look out for me. I mean, I'd appreciate it more if he could have not summoned some kind of eldritch thing during an already busy Saturday shift. Or at all. I use my throat open enough to squeak out. Ooh. Ooh, okay, so we've got tomato bisque, Caesar salad, or lunch chili. I mean, she was summoned with red, right? I'll be surprised if she answers Caesar salad. I feel like it's between tomato bisque and lamb chili. Lamb's kind of like typical sacrificey, right? But then the tomato bisque is probably red, and it is a starter. Okay, we're gonna get tomato bisque. But I feel like I'm gonna. Oh wait, bisque. One minute. Is bisque the one that has seafood in it? Because I don't want to give her seafood if she's literally a tentacle person. Does bisque have seafood? Does tomato bisque have seafood? There we go. The term bisque is also used to refer to cream-based soups that do not contain seafood. But sometimes, quite simply, an easy bisque definition is simply that the word bisque means a thick creamy soup usually made with seafood. So which is it? Is it just a tomato soup? I feel like it's just a tomato soup. But it does use shellfish. Okay, we've just saved. I feel like this is the wrong choice. That doesn't seem to mean much of anything to her. But we make a pretty killer tomato soup here and it's popular with kids. I have no idea what flavours would taste good to her mouth. He does not look happy. I've made an error. So it's best to stick with something with broad appeal. My eyes flit back over Hendrik and a smile of disappointment on his face. You wanted me to give the lamb chili, right? The lamb chili. This isn't what he would have chosen. But it looks like he can work with it. Okay. But me and you, Hendrik, let's get this going. And what would you like for your entree? She slams a fist down on the table. My stomach lurches. First, bring me the matter. This physical form requires fuel to sustain itself. I turn on my heel and fly out of there, an excuse to leave. If there are any kindly extra-dimensional beings looking down on me right now, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank them. Thank you. I rush into the kitchen. Back in the kitchen, everyone's still bustling about. Other servers are calling in their orders. The ambitious cooks are working. The slightly less ambitious cooks are cracking jokes with each other. They're as oblivious as the customers out front. I can see my manager discussing some menu changes with the head chef. Hey, does anyone else see what's going on out there? But nobody turns to look at me. Hey, I'm serious, what the hell is going on? Are they ignoring me? Do you expect me to just come back here and bring in this order like nothing's wrong? I take a sarcastic tone. Yeah, we got a blue cheese and a bisque for table 6, just another usual night, right? Without warning, a tray with the order is put down on the counter next to me. But other than that, there's no hint of a glance, no guilty looks. Hey! Nobody even flinches. Maybe that's why this restaurant was hiring. Maybe they just hire new staff just to take this position every now and again. Could be. Looks like I'm on my own. And did I tell you how lovely your eyes are this evening? From your ever effusive sewer pipe of compliments springs something worthwhile. I made most of them myself, but the eye in the center of my head was my reference object. This one? I couldn't even tell the difference. Your anatomy has gotten so much better since the last decade. What was she like before? It is easier when I have a fresh supply of study materials. So I suppose I can remain here long enough to consume some matter. Let no sentient being claim that I do not repay my debts. Well, that's just one of the perks of the job. Teachers can bring home knowledge. You're a teacher! Are you a teacher of the occult? Are you teaching... Who are you teaching? Are you teaching adults? Yeah. Cooks can bring home food, and surgeons can bring back spare body parts to their girlfriends? Hendrik. No. I can say with relative certainty that isn't how it works. If I ever find out this man's last name, I'm never going to his hospital. I thought he was a teacher for a second, so I was like, what could you possibly be bringing back as supplies for your girlfriend? I served Teleporia a hibiscus. Try not to get too close. Please be careful, it's very hot. Remember, sweetie, that too much heat can injure. Silence, meat garden. I know what to do with your volatile heat sources. She flings the scalding liquid across the table and hits Hendrik square in the chest. Does that mean she liked it? He rushes out to the bathroom, face red from pain. Oh, Hendrik. He's gonna get like a proper burn from that. We don't serve our soups at heat that could okay, that's fine. We don't serve our soups at a heat that could do permanent damage, but that still has to hurt. She closes most of her eyes and inhales, a deep breath, satisfied. When she speaks again, her rough voice has a tranquil tone. Clean it up, human. This is an establishment with standards, is it not? Well, it was, I mutter. The elegant charm might be a bit altered by the sudden presence of giant tentacles. She snuggles down into her seat. This is a gift for your owners. This is a sliver of my true form. Well, it's lovely. Sorry that you didn't like the bisque. Apology unnecessary, human. I enjoyed that immensely. Did we choose the right option? Because that he wouldn't have chose it, but she would have. Because she wanted to do that. She wraps the scarf around herself. Now that I think about it, the clothing Hendrik brought for her is all very heavy. A maxi skirt, a thick sweater, a blanket scarf. The way you're clutching that scarf, are you caught? You may not have my scarf. It retains my heat. I will continue to generate and retain heat, and it belongs to me, not you. I take a step back. I was just going to ask if you're cold. do you want the heating on? No, that's all your heat. Fair and square? She growls. Happily? Yes, all mine. Hendrik will be procuring more matter this evening, which I will continue to power this form. Physical exertion is a luxury, the caloric energy if necessary to move but a digit. She lifts one of her own claws. It's precious. I have gone for thousands of years lying in wait for foolish summoners to tear open rifts and let in the good heat from your world. Teleporia leans down on the table, the edges of the scarf trail into her bisque. Or at least what's left of it. Is it selfish to be happy that she's disarmed her now? I look at the still present tentacles and recalculate that statement. Yeah, there's like so many of them. She could just eat everyone in this restaurant if she wanted to eat humans. She at least cannot harm me with soup. And that's something. So, human, how do you enjoy generating your own heat? Oh. Okay, so it's good. I'd rather turn the heater on now. It's not great, really. Have you ever gotten sweaty? I like it. Physical activity is fun. Maybe I'd rather just turn the heating on there. I feel like she likes honesty, and I don't know. Maybe she hasn't heard of a heater though. Maybe she has. But she's feeling all proud of herself at the moment because she's so heated up, isn't she? Alright. When it gets cold, I can't bring myself to do much of anything, so I'll just turn up the thermostat. She slams her hands down. No! This is unacceptable, lazy human. In the void, there is no heat. There are no suns off which to leech, like some creature that lives off the blood of another. I don't think she knows that verb correlates to an actual animal. You need to be more grateful. Look. I like physical activity and I like exercising, but like winters and the cold can sometimes be a bit harsh, and sometimes you just want to be warm with a nice heat and a good cup of tea. I'll stand by my statement. And Hendrik returns. Getting along well as might be expected. Still, thank you for keeping her company. We'll eat our appetizers and... She shakes her head. I'm finished with mine. He laughs. Of course, how could I forget? So then, would you like to move on to the main course now? The next part of the meal? Ah, yes, with the larger portions. Hendrik points to her menu. So, what were you thinking about? I always like steak, but I admit that I was kind of thinking of splurging on hey, human socks. I'm gonna get asked what food to do again. I snapped for attention. Yes, ma'am. Choose, do promptly and wisely, or else I'll need to consume something else for my main course. She's staring me right in the eyes, and her gaze fingers on my mouth. On my mouth? Okay, I mean, he's not very happy about that. I mean, she's gonna just suck the heat out of us, probably, right? She stares at my teeth and licks her lips. Could she eat my teeth? Oh, she's looking at her teeth. Teeth? Interesting. Well, I think you'd enjoy... Ooh. Ooh. I'm gonna go for it. Okay. Save, actually, save over here instead. Yes. I'm gonna recommend the live lobster because I feel like she'd enjoy that. We have a live lobster here. Hendrik gives a bit of a nod. Oh, she loves it! Oh, she's so happy! That's my order too. It's been a while, but this is a special night. At what point did humans discover the joy of consuming live creatures? Wait, she doesn't think I'll serve it to her while it's still. No, sweetie, I'm afraid that most of us are still a touch prudish about those sort of things. But they have a tank here, so the lobster is fresh. Nothing is as fresh as squeezing the life from a creature with your jaws. Feeling it right. Oh, okay, Hendrik likes that. Feeling it writhe and struggle in a fruitless attempt to stave off the icy curtain of death. She's looking straight at my throat. Concerning. 2 lobster dinners coming right up. I rush away as quickly as I can. Am I gonna have to get the lobsters out? I try to convince the chef to let me serve 1 lobster live. I feel downright ghoulish, but between me and a crustacean, I'm gonna defend myself every time. But her reaction is the same as last time. She prepares the dishes as usual and hands them off to me, never making eye contact or reacting to anything I say. That's weird. What is this? She lifts up the extra utensil. It's a lobster cracker. You use that to crack open the shell. This is a fair idea, but it's such a waste, Socks. To use this on a deceased creature. I know you would have liked it live, but the chefs aren't acknowledging me. Well, if food is dead, isn't it easier to consume? She waves a claw at me. Not if you have to crack it open anyway. Hendrik is already digging the meat of his. I like it. It's soothing to have a little tactile activity as part of a meal. Taliporia's claws slip on the lobster cracker. Meat shield, how are you employing your tool? Meat shield. Oh, Hendrik, is that your loving nickname? Well, if you put either end of the metal bit over, raise it up and demonstrate. He holds the lobster cracker and one leg up, leaning forward so they're close enough for her to get a good look. She holds hers up, pantomiming his actions. Then promptly grabbing one of his hands, wrapping the cracker around his pointer finger and gripping it tightly. Oh dear, Hendrik, you're not having a good life good life. You're not having a good day. I mean, you're probably not having a good night. I don't know how the life's going. Ow! His finger juts at an odd angle, and blood drips onto the torn tablecloth. She cackles and throws the metal tool at his head. Fool, I can easily employ such a simple item. He just likes being degraded. That's okay. That's fine. Is that why he liked summoning her? He just every now and again, this is his special treat to himself. Just this night. He's leaning away from his injured hand, the other on his face. Right you are. You got me. He sure does look embarrassed. It's really hard to tell through the pain. I mean, that is an expression of pain on his face, right? I guess she got him? He breathes heavily, trying to get himself under control. As though to prove a point, he goes right back to eating dinner. As though nothing were wrong. So, before I go, is everything to your liking? Is the food, powering your true form enough? Silly socks. When in my true form, I do not consume human fuel. This human template, what did you call it? Hendrik's caught mid-bite, and he covers his mouth to respond. Human sonar! Ooh, Hendrik. Not a good one. My human sonar. It consumes calories, inhales oxygen, excretes feces, all the same as yourself, I assume. I mean, that's not how I would define... You know what, it's just not wrong though. That is pretty much being a human, right? I never expected to have a restaurant patron ask me if I breathe and poop, but here we are. But my true form requires something much more deeply sustaining. She stares me down. Is that why they're all ignoring me? Am I literally just a sacrifice? She looks at my teeth again. She looks me in the eye. She holds the eye contact and waits. I try not to squirm, but my moxie is inadequate for this situation. She waits, and then laughs. I can breathe again. Delicious. A light dusting of fear. Nothing too overwhelming. If that doesn't strike as much fear, please let me never ever learn what it does. So, you eat fear then? It falls into my purview. Suffering. Sweetie's true form eats concepts. And she builds her human sonars to have quite the taste for them too. Any form of important emotion can sustain her, but she's picky. I am not. Suffering is the only thing worth eating. Eating anything else would be beneath me. It's okay. Eat whatever you want. I love you just the way you are. And I would like you much better with several more stab wounds to the head. Anytime, sweetie. Have you killed him before and brought him back? Because I feel like that's something you would do just for... And he would probably be happy about that. Just a consideration for you both. Though I managed to sneak away for the next 15 minutes, I know that I'll eventually have to return. I tried to strike up a conversation with the line cooks again. So, how do you guys feel about the recent tentacle invasion? Of course, nobody responds. Yeah, it's really hard to put into words, huh? No response. Dishes click. I guess the spooky atmosphere has a certain charm, but I don't think it will catch on with the baby boomers. Conventional wisdom says that they like elegance or rustic charm, and Midwestern mums are not into dripping fluids. I mean as a general group. I won't assume individual tastes. It's me. This gets boring quickly, so after the appropriate waiting period I head back over. So thank you for dining with us tonight. I did it, I made it through the evening. They might want to look at the desserts menu though. I'm tempted to not even give them a check, to just rush them right out the door. But I refuse to slip up now. It's been a delight getting to know the both of you. How kind of you. You know I was planning on heading out, but you know what? I couldn't care less if I attempted, and I am very powerful. I am capable of caring far less than most humans could in their most apathetic dreams. Let's do dessert. Yeah, exactly. Okay. I look from his smiling face to Teloporia's cruel one. I know how this goes. Let's make a recommendation. I recommend our chocolate torte for the delightful couple. Do you feel like drinking? I sure do. After dinner brandy. Caution to the wind. Banana Foster's flambe. She does like things that I like. I'm gonna go with the bottom one. Is my professionalism slipping? Must be. He looks genuinely shocked. I didn't think we'd actually swear to them. I thought that maybe we'd be like that was in our heads and then we were gonna go into the verb, but obviously not. What are we impregnating? Sweetie, it's a figure of speech. I don't have that function this time around. Sweetie, I think she's just tired. That's okay. I think if I want this to be a truly satisfying night for our esteemed void goddess, then she's going to enjoy this dessert. Or at least, how we cook it. What is this blathering about? But I can tell I've got a hurt. We cook it tableside, with a huge flame. And there it is. I'm not so sure about this. Looks like he's picked up on the pattern too. Oh, I insist. I don't even need to write this one down. One flaming dessert for table 6. I scramble about the kitchen grabbing everything I need. Am I cleared to do this? Hell no. 2 weeks is not long enough to have permission to set things on fire next to the diners. But tonight's special, isn't it? And besides, no one's paying attention to me anyway. I wheel the cart over. Feeling a mite chatty, I take my time prepping to light it on fire. So, congrats on getting out of, what did you call it? The cold place? The void. Void? God, what's it like in there? Dark, cold, mostly barren. Locked for something approaching an eternity with nothing but your own thoughts. Unless one can become creative. I do my best to make creatures to fill it, but it is a vast expanse, literally endlessly big. But with nothing in it. Yeah, I caught part of your conversation before. You made your body, right? Indeed, when rifts become open, I am able to seize not only heat but stray matter. I model the majority of my creations after your carbon-based life forms, but modifications must be made. I'll bet, if the void doesn't have heat or any of its own matter, you need to make creatures that don't eat or breathe, right? Good human. I model most of them after myself. And you eat concepts? Yes. After billions of years, I've evolved over 1 million species of a void creature. Nearly all of them feed as I do on the concept of suffering. So it's an endless, barren place with no light, no heat, where the only things that exist just go around preying on each other's suffering all the time. Yes. Oh, okay, but he's looking a bit happier. Is it not marvellous? And someday human sucks. There'll be a rift large enough that it's not tiny scarfs and stray humans which will fall through, but your entire plane of existence. You will enjoy it. Wouldn't I pay it? I got distracted there for a bit, but I grabbed the rum. Can't caramelize it right without a pretty flame. I mean, I don't enjoy suffering. You'd be surprised what humans can get used to. I know you like it, Hendry, but let's talk about how I feel. I used the wrong English word. A closer translation might be resignation. You'd become resigned to an existence saturated with pain. Enjoy isn't the correct term, unless you're a disgusting cluster of miswired brain signals. That's at you, Hendrik. That's yeah. Love you too, sweetie. I know what you're doing, Hendrik. You think if you can keep delaying me with fancy dinners, stolen body parts, gentle words, and rough sex. Oh, he doesn't want to talk about heat. I was like thinking, yeah. Could we not talk about our sex life in public, thank you? She places a hand on his arm. That you can stop me. You are, as always, disgusting, but an appealing opponent. Oh! Look out! And I light it up. The flames shine in her eyes. I can feel the heat coming off it. I should probably be keeping a close eye on it to make sure it's cooking properly. But looking over at Hendrik and Talapuria, they're holding hands. So simply and happily. She's gripping his hand tightly from joy. And then she jerks him across the table. Straight into the flaming cart. Now, that burn, that's one that could cause permanent damage. Though he may be lucky that that's the worst thing that happened to him tonight. He executes a perfect stop, drop and roll, and soon the flames are out. Hendrik! Oh, I didn't... Yeesh. Though he's far from unscathed. I just thought you'd like the heat, but you have been injuring him quite a lot. I should have probably put two and two together. Human, this was a fantastic dinner. Bring us the statements that we might repay you for your noble worship and gifts. I salute and wheel what remains of the upturned cart away. It's not long before I return with the bill in hand. He takes the check. He seems to do a bit of a calculation in his head, then lays down some cash. Well, this evening was the complete waste of time and effort. Organ ravioli. Hendrik looks up at her. You may have one short, friendly embrace. He jumps to his feet, arms wide open to hug her, and one of her tentacles slams into him, throwing his body across the room. It slams into the wall and ragdolls to the ground. I kind of feel bad for him, but he's obviously happy with this. Hug transaction complete. Oh no, did you just kill him? She heaves a sigh. Would I were so lucky. No, human, I have merely rendered him unconscious. That's good. Can't have people dying of it. I haven't been here long enough to get away with that. I don't think I can get away with that ever, actually. But it seems like they're all used to it, so what I'm trying to get at is based in this restaurant. Via severe okay, no, he's gonna die. Via severe cranial hemorrhaging. That's bad. He will sleep it off. I've ripped off his limbs before. He can take it. She looks almost fond. She gets up, walks over to him, and grabs him by the foot. I suppose it is time to return him to his residence. She packs up. Or I can abandon his body in a trash unit. Perhaps nobody will find him and he'll be placed inside a trash compactor. As she turns to drag him away, I ask, Miss Teleporia. She turns, quizzical. Human, I am departing. You've made it through this evening unscathed. You have little to no ability to comprehend how fortunate that makes you, but I suggest you make an attempt. I clear my throat. I think I'm trapped. I gesture around at the restaurant. Oh yes, I'd forgotten your world usually has even more light, does it not? She shrugs. Well, I had no hand in this. And with that, she waves aside a tentacle and marches through the front door. Hendrik's head thuds against the ground as she walks down the staircase and out of sight. When I hear the front door close, another server bumps me in the shoulder stepping past. They give me a dirty look and keep heading their way. Just like that, I'm back. I get moving, clearing the table, scooping up the check. I check the tip. 40%! Might not cover emotional distress, but it'll cap off the shift well. This was quite the experience. But for my own safety, I think I'm going to skip the 2 weeks notice. I came here to learn something new, and I'd say that goal was more than accomplished. What ending did I get then? Ending for a hug goodbye. I think I did pretty well then. So that was May I Take Your Order. This game actually does have about 5 different endings. I got ending 4. If you want to go give it a try for yourselves and see what endings you can get, why not check out that link in the description and go give it a go. But for now, I'm going to let you enjoy the rest of your day, evenings, whatever you're doing. Have a lovely one. See you in the next one. Bye for now.